Good morning again. So let's continue our discussion with the business applications of predictive analytics. So predictive analytics extracts information from data set to discover relationships, recognize patterns, forecast trends, find associations, and others. Now, this allows us to anticipate the future and make right decisions. Now, the applications of predictive analytics in business intelligence are unaccountable. In this, we describe some of the most common ones. So first is customer targeting, churn prevention, sales forecasting, market analysis, risk assessment, and financial modeling, to name a few. So let's look one by one our applications. The first one is customer targeting. So this is actually the practice of dividing customer base into groups of individuals similar in specific ways relevant to marketing such as age, gender, interest, and spending habits. Now, it enables companies to target tailored marketing messages accurately to customers who are most likely to buy their products. Now, it has been proved that predictive analytics can identify potential customers much better than traditional techniques. Now, some types of factors used in customer targeting are the following. One is socio-demographic factors such as your age, your job, marital status, education, and other factors. We also have engagement factors such as recency, frequency of purchase, monetary, okay, and others. And then past campaign factors such as contact type, day, month, duration. Now, the advantage of for the company is it will have, or are, I should say, are a better communication with the customer. Number two, a considerable saving of money in marketing. And number three, a considerable increase in profitability. Now, an example, okay, here is related to direct marketing campaigns of a bank institution, wherein the goal is to predict which client will subscribe to a term deposit. So that's a specific example. Another business application is for churn prevention. So it aims to predict which customers, when and why, and their relationship with our company. So usually this churn prevention is applicable to our telecommunications company. Okay? So this phenomenon can be costly since cost of retaining an existing customer is much lower than that of acquiring a new one. Now, by harnessing the power of big customer data set, companies can develop predictive models that enable proactive intervention before it's too late. Now, some types of attributes used in churn prevention are the following. We have, again, socio-demographic variables like gender, age, education level, job category, marital status, and nationality, to name a few. Another one is products contracted. So, using credit card, insurance policies, and others. Engagement variables, yung recency, frequency of monetary time, product and or time service usage. So, mobile, web, physical, call centers, and others. Technical incidents, customer service calls. Stationary variables such as the season, date, time. Competitors variable, price, quality of service. Now, the company then analyzes the causes of churn and takes the required action to retain their customers. Now, for instance, by offering the customer a discount or an extra feature, an example is to predict a churn of telecom customers based on their account information. So, kayo, example, ilang beses na kayo nagpalit ng service provider, okay, na Telcom. So, dati Smart ka, ngayon naging Globe ka. Yung pagpalit mo ng service provider, yun yung churn na tinatawag. Okay? So, yon. Now, the third application is sales forecasting. So, sales forecasting analyzes prior history, seasonality, market moving event, and others to result in realistic prediction of the demand for a product or service. So, it can be applied to short-term, medium-term, or even long-term forecasting. In this regard, predictive analytics can anticipate customer responses and changing attitudes by looking at all factors. Now, it is actually the cornerstone of a company's planning. Now, indeed, it allows to predict the revenue and to allocate resources optimally. So, this will be the first topic that we're going to discuss in our next video lecture. So, some types of variables will include calendar date, so yung season, hours, bank holidays, and so on. Weather date, or weather data, I should say, the temperature, the humidity, the rainfall. Then, company data like price, promotion, or marketing campaigns. Social data include economic, political factors that a country is experimenting, or the demand data, we have our historical sales. Now, an example is to predict power demand in the electric industry accurately. So, these studies results are improved forecast accuracy, which means better information to decide what is the best course of action. Okay, so yon yung advantage for the company. They will have improved forecast accuracy for better information to decide what is best course of action to take. Another application is for quality improvement. So this is the analysis of market surveys help companies address customer requirements, increasing their profits, and reducing the attrition rate. Attrition is damaging, okay? So, some types of factors in quality improvement include product characteristics like component, presentation, customer characteristics like gender, age, and customer surveys like tastes, preferences, wants, needs. Now, once the predictive model has been designed, the company can exploit it to search for those attributes fitting customers' taste. Now, an example is to model wine quality based on physiochemical tests like yung pH values. And the output is based on sensory data, so evaluation by wine experts. Okay? We also have a risk assessment. So, risk assessment allows company to analyze possible problems associated with a given business. The goal of predictive analytics is to build decision support systems that can estimate with certainty the profitable operations of the company and which are not. So, risk assessment is a general term that means different things to different users indeed. We might want to evaluate the risk of a customer, a company, or other aspect of the business. In case of a client, the risk assessment can analyze using the following types of data. One, again, is socio-demographic factors such as your age, education, marital status, product details like credit amount, bill statement, customer behaviors like repayment status, previous payment, and risk matrix. Is it default or at risk? Now, an example in the banking sector is to determine which customer will take over a credit. Here, they use different types of information to select if an applicant is adequate to receive credit or not. So, more specifically, they assess the probability that a given customer does not repay a loan, therefore mitigating the impact of default risk. Ito nga yung kinento ko sa inyo that when they approve loans sa bank, meron silang ginagamit na software to determine whether that loan will be granted or not. But the final decision is still in the manager. Okay? So, kahit lumabas yung kwan na hindi tawag nito, does not approve, siguro may mga considerations din naman na binibigay. Okay? May mga considerations din naman na binibigay siguro. So, it's just helping the manager to make decision. Okay? The result of predictive analytics is not an absolute. What do I mean? It should not be an absolute basis. Okay? Na pag sinabing disapprove, disapproved na. Okay? So, you still have the will to make your decision. The last application is for financial modeling. So, financial modeling is about translating a set of hypotheses about market behavior or agents into numerical predictions. Now, these predictive models are used for supporting firms in decision-making, processes about investment or returns. Now, example is to predict the stock market trend from internal and external variable. Now, usually sa financial modeling, we use linear regression to determine, for example, the profit we can gain using different variables. Okay? So, lahat yon pag-uusapan natin in our next or in part 2 of our unit. So, that's all about the fundamentals of, the basics of predictive analytics. So, if you want to learn more about predictive analytics, these are our references. Now, if you have questions, feel free to message me in our group chat. So, until in our next video lecture, stay safe and God bless you all.